Last time on Improv Tabletop, we were right in the thick of a battle with three weird sisters, three hags, who Shakespeare had once treated with to gain information, but which he put into one of his plays, and they were super angry about it, so angry that they were putting on a ritual to erase all of Shakespeare's works from history. So our heroes decided they were going to put a stop to that, but didn't do very good in the diplomacy sector and got into a big ol' fight. The witches terrified them, some of them so much that they went running straight out of the lodge, switching to the terrified face as they went. But ultimately, after some, admittedly pretty bad rolls at the beginning, things did improve. You were able to repair the crack in the Liberty Bell and use it as a means to fend off some of the witches. But the Liberty Bell got recracked due to more bad rolls. But finally, in the end, Pilfer, though he had an unfortunate incident slipping in the melted puddle of their camp friend Scoops, ended up using one of the pots as a bell, rung it strong and true, and with a final strike, Master Brickithon was able to contain all of the witches within their pot of borscht. And in a little bit of a quiet moment, they all banded together to clean up the commissary, and along the way, Pilfer decided he was going to just snag the vial of all of the technicians who had disappeared due to the witches and slip it into his pocket, acting in the interest of the void. And so now that this first hunt is complete, it's time to get into some downtime. What's going to happen in this downtime session? Let's find out here in the world of the Tension Builders. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to Improv Tabletop, The Tension Builders, the bump in the dark actual play where we're making up everything on the spot. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by
Caleb Anderton, tense but built.
Christian Randall, ready to explore.
And Evan Peterson, dismantled.
Well, in the fallout of the previous episode, every so often while I'm editing an episode, something gets really stuck in my craw, and darn it, Evan, I've been listening to That's the Impression That I Get by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones on repeat.
You're welcome.
Yes. I know that it is canonical that listening to ska is an act in the interest of the void, but, some of us like ska and also have just like this little well of yearning darkness at the bottom of their heart. So, moving on directly from that, we've got some downtime ahead of us, friends. And the way that downtime works in this game is it's broken up into beats, kind of similar to how they do in Slug Blaster. It's a much more narrative way of advancing your character's abilities and attributes. We have this opportunity to dig more into the actual story behind this, rather than in Blades in the Dark. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to go training, there we go. I get some more XP in one of my attributes. In this one, each beat has a sort of narrative journey that it takes you on, a little bit of an arc. Hopefully we'll have a chance to dig a bit more into the minute-to-minute and actually see what happens with our characters as they go through these. And so if you'll recall, during our fallout of our last session, people were marking hope, people were marking bond, and these are the resources that we'll get to spend on our downtime beats. And so, does anybody have in mind any particular beats that they would like to go on?
As soon as we wrap up with what we just did, my adrenaline drops and I take off my scared face and I put on my sad face with just a single tear.
Oh.
And I say, friends, please, can we go to first aid station? I have a bullet in my body. I would like it to be taken out.
And Scoops sees that for the first time, and he goes, oh shoot, didn't even notice that before. You were just so energetic and manic and stuff. But yeah, the medic's office is actually right here in the lodge. You'll be good to go. No need to worry about it. Bullets happen all the time around here.
Yeah, okay, very common, kind of not the best. Okay.
We do have a shooting sports area and all that.
I suppose it makes sense, and I do know Pilfer is at camp, so shooting must happen regularly. I am going to, spend 2 hope and head off to the infirmary and lie down for a bit. When I get there, is it just staffed by a bunch of other builders, or is it like nurse, doctor, professionals? Is it like General Hospital?
There is one single medic for the entire camp. I'm going to roll to see which of the medics that I actually worked with at Scout Camp I'm going to base this particular medic off of. This medic is going to be based off of Darren, good old Darren.
Yes! Evan likes that.
I was hoping so.
Yeah, so you go heading in there, and you see this somewhat short, he looks like he's the kind of guy who could have been on Gilligan's Island or something back in the day. Bright shock of red hair, and as you come walking in, he's wearing, it almost looks like a blacksmith's apron more so than a medic's apron or smock or anything. You come walking in, he turns towards you and he says, "Hey there, friend, what you in need of?"
I have bullet in my body. Do you think you can remove it?
Oh, and you're crying about that? Okay, fine, get up on the bench here.
It feels justified to cry with bullet. Camp is a very strange place. I'll get up on the table.
Yeah, it looks much more like it's just kind of like a couple sawhorses with a big board across them. Very rough and tumble, very rustic. And I'm realizing the concept of gloves on Lego hands is a very interesting one.
Takes off the yellow hands and puts on white hands.
Yeah.
There we go. He gets you up on the operating table and says, "What kind of anesthesia are we into?" And he points to a wall, and you can see there's some syringes. There's also just a big old baseball bat.
Sorry, I'm not there, but I think it has to be a brick.
You know what? Yeah, I think while you are perusing the wall of different options, he comes up behind you with a brick in a sock and just smacks you upside the back of the head. And then when you wake up, according to the move here, when you recover, you seek treatment for your wounds. If you don't have a connection, ally, or fellow hunter you can help, use the acquire asset beat. You've got someone who can help. You've got good old Darren the medic. So yeah, you can clear the wounded condition and all wounds.
There we go. I am no longer shot in leg. And I'm going to lie there for a bit before I take my next beat.
All right. There is a really old CRT style television, the one that has the built-in VCR at the bottom. And he pulls up a little sort of library style rack and it's got a bunch of VHS tapes on it, all from like the mid to late 90s.
I'm so excited.
Let's see. Who should we move over to next?
I don't want to take my downtime action.
What?
I'd like to seek solace, please.
Why on earth would you be dreading seeking solace, Pilfer?
Question about seeking solace.
Yes.
It has an option to clear all luck without rolling, but suffer a snag.
This is correct.
Do I choose which snag?
I think we can let you choose which snag. So Seeking Solace is the move that will let you clear all of the luck that you have marked over the course of a hunt. And typically, the way that it works is, describe how your hunters seek solace and say who, if anyone, is with them, take up dice equal to your total unmarked doom, and clear luck equal to the single highest result. If you clear more luck than you had marked, or if you would like to clear all of your luck without even rolling, then you can suffer a snag. And we have 4 different options. You can cause some trouble getting in over your head. I take a string. Obviously, Evan's not going to be choosing that one. You can mouth off, brag about your hunts, or talk with regular people about the supernatural, immediately gain +2 alarm, get lost, your hunter vanishes for a few weeks, play a different hunter until this one returns, and when they come back, tell us what they got up to and clear all conditions, or despair. Your solace no longer provides any relief. Start a 6-segment long-term project to find a new one. You cannot seek solace until it's complete. So, Pilfer, you have marked 6 luck over the course of this hunt, so there is no way that you could roll over that, but there is a chance that you could roll under that. So, what do you think you want to do? You could just clear all of it by taking a snag, or you can roll 3 dice, that's how much unmarked doom you have, and sort of press your luck on it.
Pilfer heads back to camp, and I go to a false rock that I have, and I pull out a flask from inside of it. full of some extra potent grog, which grog is actually pretty weak IRL, but I've been brewing this special, and at this point it's mostly pure grain alcohol.
Okay.
I don't think this fits the dictionary definition of grog anymore.
Yeah, because grog is just like alcohol watered down.
It's like half beer, half water.
So I was thinking it was just a little bit less watered down, but if this is just Everclear that you're drinking, basically,
Pilfer calls it grog, but
it's just to keep on brand, if anything else.
I'm going to head to the trading post.
Oh dear.
And I'm going to chill out, buy a big bopper, swig back some grain alcohol, and I would like to suffer a snag.
All right. Do you have an idea which snag you would like to suffer?
Despair. I would like to suffer despair. My solace no longer provides any relief.
Okay, so instantly, the shanties are no longer on the table.
Oh, man.
Right off the very bat.
You did that on purpose.
Okay, so Grog and Shanties is going to be no more. We start a 6-segment long-term project to find a new solace. You sit down at like the bar area in the trading post, and you hear a familiar voice next to you. Oh, you've been having a rough day there, eh, Pilfer?
Aye, it be a very long day.
If you ask me, and you look and see just like the most average looking human that you've ever seen in your life, it's kind of like I'll use the Monster Factory term for those familiar with that. Like when you're creating your own custom character in a video game, if you just put all the sliders right in the middle, it's an all middle sliders kind of human being that you're speaking to.
Perfectly average.
This is like the stock yellow head,
Yes.
like smiley Lego face.
Yeah, and he turns towards you and says, "You brought out the special grog for this one, I see."
I don't have much left, so after today, I may not be able to go back.
Good, because me and the rest of the folks here at the trading post, we've been meaning to stage an intervention for you. And you hear the door slam shut.
Who else is here?
Well, there is the dame that runs the trading post, the one with the Etsy shop that we established in the original campaign. But then there's also just a few various other ragamuffins. There's a couple people from the various licensed properties that LEGO has put together over the years. If we're keeping in theme with just kind of this very washed up, I suppose we've got Neville Longbottom is going to be there. Probably, we'll say Squidward. Squidward has been made into a LEGO character. Yeah, SpongeBob is definitely LEGOified by this point. We'll put Jar Jar Binks in there just for fun.
All right, I think an intervention may be. This is a bit much. I mean, I have one flask of grog. I mean, grog it's famously weak alcohol. I take a swig of my pure grain alcohol.
Of course, but you are on the premises of the camp, and last I checked, you're not supposed to be having any of that whatsoever. It's only senior staff who are allowed to drink booze around these parts.
Smash cut to Master Brickithon, just like...
Yeah, he's sitting at the other end of the bar, not taking part in the intervention.
Aye, all right. And I just bottoms up my flask and just drain the last of my grog.
All right, you're off to a good start, but just to make sure that it really sets into that mind of yours. And then we cut to you standing in the middle of the trading post and all of them walking in a circle around you, just pointing at you going, shame, shame, shame.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to start a 6-segment long-term project. And along with this, there is another basic beat called Work on a Long-Term Project that costs 2 hope every time you do it.
But I can't do it. I only have 1 hope.
All right, well, you have cleared all of your luck. We're going to start trying to find you a new solace, but we're going to have to wait until our next downtime in order to do that.
Deal.
So while Oleg is getting a bullet removed from his body and Pilfer is getting shamed out of drinking alcohol, Master Brickithon, what do we got for you?
All right, we are making this up on the spot, so I'm not sure where I'm going with this yet,
All right,
but this is what I want to do.
love it.
In my Raven arc, I would like to spend 3 hope to mark the box Favors Due.
Ha ha ha.
And what that says is, you are called away on business. What excuse do you tell the other hunters, and why can't they ever know the truth about what you're doing? Write a belief that pertains to this, and then take a new ability from your playbook. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that yet, but it feels...
I have an idea.
Oh, I was just going to say it feels very Gandalf-esque to just disappear for a while, and you guys don't know where I go or what I'm doing, but I'm doing something important. But Ned, you have an idea.
I do have an idea. So I think you get a telegram from your good friend Master Bricktholomew, the camp director.
Right.
It just says, meet me at the admin office. And that's basically it. No other details aside from that. So what is the excuse that you give to your troop?
Oleg, Pilfer, I'm sorry. I might be gone for a few days. I am old and I need to go to physical therapy. I will be back though, and I will see you soon. Just know that, when you get old and your bones hurt, that sometimes you need to go and do things to make them slightly less hurting. See you soon. Goodbye.
Aye, you do be old. Goodbye.
I don't know about therapy. I'll just do the physical part. And I'm going to just start doing push-ups in the corner.
All right. So, Master Brickithon, you start heading to the admin office, and you start thinking, my good friend Master Bricktholomew, he calls me to meet up with him at the lodge all the time. Just like the last time we met up, we definitely did something. What did we do last time I was down at the lodge?
Are you asking me, or are you telling me that I can't remember?
I think largely speaking, you can't remember, but what do you think might be something that you could, like a mote of light that you could grasp out of the bottomless pit in your memory?
Master Bricktholomew knows that I like research and learning new things, and so once in a while he'll have something new to show me or tell me.
Yeah. And you can remember plenty of times in the past where you've headed down there and he has showed you, the latest pedagogical research that he's grabbed from one of the conferences that he's gone to. Or maybe he'll show you some new artifact that he's picked up on one of his many travels. Maybe he'll show you one of his hunting trophies. Because, just recently, he was gone because he had to kill all the krakens that were infesting the river downstream from the camp so that people wouldn't end up getting killed on the canoeing trip, that kind of stuff. So he shows you all kinds of cool stuff, and you do have lots of these memories of just kind of these fun, one-on-one sort of encounters, him sharing new things with you. But it's just like the few most recent times that you've met with him that you just can't remember anything of what happened in those meetings.
Oh, being old and having holes in your memory is not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, you walk through the dirt-packed parking lot that leads to the lodge itself, and you can see there's a bunch of trucks that are packing up the Globe Theater, packing up the Taj Mahal, as we established in our last couple episodes, and, taking all the bricks apart, putting them onto the trucks, and you can see the people from the Landmark Acquisition Council or whatever, watching over the new landmark that's getting built up where the Taj Mahal used to be. This black tower that is currently being put together. It's only about half built at this point, but you head into the lodge and Master Bricktholomew says, my old friend, it's been a while. How have you been, Master Brickithon?
Master Bricktholomew, it is good to see you. Things have been busy in my neck of the woods. I have a bit of a new job. It seems to be we are the paranormal investigators of the camp of sorts, for the time being.
Why, you don't say. You're moving on up in the world there, my old friend, and he pats you on the back.
Yes, I don't know if the other members of the camp quite appreciate the things we are doing yet, but someday I hope they will come to see the great value and service that we have already provided for them.
Well, I appreciate what you've been doing for years and years. Hopefully, moving on from this point forward, you will only do more in service of this wonderful camp. And he starts leading you into the admin office. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to read this situation, because you're a little bit maybe on edge about not being able to remember the past few times you visited the lodge here. So go ahead and read for me.
Sure.
That's going to be 2d6, it looks like.
That's a 2 and a 5.
All right, partial success. So as he walks through the door, you're following after him, and you look up at the construction, this nice classic log-style brick construction of the lodge as you're walking through, and you notice there's a little sort of mechanical thing that's been built into the door jamb. There's a little light kind of blinking on it, and you're like, I don't remember seeing that before. And you walk through the door, and then the next thing you know, you're walking out of the door. And Master Bricktholomew says, "It's always so wonderful to have these meetings with you, my friend."
I blink, and I look around.
That was weird. Are you feeling all right, my friend?
Honestly, the new cook that we've got here for the staff, not doing a great job. I don't feel all right, actually. If you'll excuse me, I need to go and make a tribute to the latrine god for just a moment.
Yes, you hurry. I know how that goes.
Yep, he pats you on the back and says, "I look forward to our next meeting, old friend." And he starts kind of hobbling his way off towards the nearest Kaibo.
Okay, so I walked through this door into whatever the next room is. And the next thing I remember, I am walking out of that exact same door.
Correct. Back into the entry hallway.
Very subtly, I'd like to get a read on what this flashy mechanical thingy is that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, go ahead and read for me once more.
A 2 and a 5 again.
Okay, another partial success. So you take a little bit of a closer look here, and you can hear that there are some other staff members that are like walking down the hallway from the cafeteria area, and they're going to be on you pretty quick. So you can't take like a super long look at it, but you get in close. It's kind of like up in the corner. So you grab a stepping stool, step up close, take a gander at it. And the closer you get, for a moment, you almost feel like you can hear a ringing in your ears. Just like the closer you get to this threshold, it seems like there's some sort of effect that it's having on you.
And this is just the door that leads into, remind me where, the inner portion of the building?
Yeah, it leads to the admin office specifically.
All right, I don't want to get caught, so I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to take the long way out through the building, though, and I'm going to look and see if there are any more of these anywhere else in the building.
Yeah, you're like looking relatively close. It seems like it's only specifically Master Bricktholomew's office that has this device on the door.
Okay. I checked the big old clock on the wall. How long was that meeting? How long was I gone?
You told your troop that you'd be gone for a few days, and true to your word, it's a few days later.
That's not what I expected.
I'll go back.
Okay, as you're heading back towards the campsite, you can see that the landmark, the historical landmark that was being moved, has been finished being constructed by this point. This big, tall, black tower with 2 prongs up at the top.
Is this Barad-dûr? What is this tower?
Yeah, I mean, you're a well-learned man. It appears to be Barad-dûr.
Okay.
Is there a second tower anywhere?
No, they were only able to get the agreement for Barad-dûr, not for Isengard, I'm afraid.
I'll just narrow my eyes at that tower and say,
that doesn't bode well.
It doesn't.
And I'll head back to our camp.
And as you turn back to the camp, the tower narrows its eyes at you as well. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add to our void clues for the dark conspiracy that underlies this campaign the device that makes you lose your memory.
Yeah.
In the door jamb there.
Also, I get to pick another ability from my playbook, correct?
That is correct. So, though you were gone for 3 days, you do feel more nimble, you do feel more spry, you feel more capable. So, which of your Raven abilities would you like to gain?
I want to pick Haven. It says you have a Haven. Gain an additional gear slot, and once per hunt you can visit to do one of the following. You can immediately acquire the temporary use of an asset at no cost, or you can bring a wounded hunter here to clear a condition.
Dang.
That's pretty nice. So now you no longer only have 4 gear slots, you have 5 gear slots.
Nice.
Where's the haven?
I want to make the haven in our bunker, in our base, which we haven't spent any time in yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. As you come back, I've got a full beard because I forgot to shave this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I see you and I quickly remember, and so I pop the beard off and I put it away.
And I'm clean shaven because after the intervention, I'm trying to clean myself up.
Master Brickithon, I have great news, great discovery. Follow me.
Yes, show me, Oleg.
And when we first got to the campsite, we built a little bunker to fight the Squazniak. And I have dug that out further and found a passageway that leads to the old Soviet bunker further away. And through that tunnel, I found a nice little room. When I found it was lots of dust on shelves, maybe once paper, not much now, but lots of shelves here, comfortable couch, nice desk. Not sure what to do, but I have idea and I need your help.
This is amazing. What a wonderful discovery. Yes. What is your idea, Oleg?
Well, I have a machine to drive called Argo. Very temperamental. I'm working on fixing, but I want to invent little following thing like helicopter or something that can help carry things for us. I was hoping to bounce idea off you.
Interesting. I'm very interested in this Argo, but in addition to your Argo vehicle, you would like a small helicopter, you say, to carry things around?
It would be little brother to Argo, like little follower. Maybe we use for spying, I'm not sure, but just sometimes a bird's eye view, as you say, is very helpful.
My brother and I, when we were young, we would build model airplanes.
Oh, you can help? I have tools and material.
Yes, I believe I may know something about what you are doing, and perhaps I could review my instruction book and see if I can find any instructions from those long ago days.
I would like to mark 2 hope and cut loose with Master Brickithon.
All right, so we have a scene with another hunter, connection, or ally, spending quality time together. Describe how the other party inspired you, and take an ability from any playbook other than your own.
Ooh.
You're using our bond?
Is that Bond?
That is Bond.
That's bond, baby.
Oh, I didn't even check. Yeah, I'm using our Bond. So I'm not marking 2 hope. I'm using the troops Bond.
All right.
And I would like to take from Master Brickithon Tinkerer.
Ooh.
All right. You can modify or craft new tools or devices. Add 1 invention to your gear. Additionally, gain +1 die to craft during downtime.
And when I do build this little thing, I want it to look like a little sailing ship, helicopter, so that Pilfer feels like he's the captain of this as well.
Haha. Okay. Trying to remember where the crafting rules are in this game because I know they're there.
Pilfer, you look good. You look sharp.
I did not know you were so, jak сказать, mechanically minded with your hands. You are very helpful.
Ah, yes, I appreciate that greatly, and I thank you for the kind words.
Pilfer, you don't seem quite your usual jovial self, though. Are you all right?
Indeed, I'm just learning to refocus on the things that are really important, inside.
All of the ghosts that live around your campsite are narrowing their eyes at you and kind of whispering to each other.
Important inside what?
Your heart, your soul, the things that bring value to your life, like your friends and family and your connections.
And money.
I mean, money's nice, but it never bought happiness.
Pilfer, you seem to have changed.
Yes, I cleaned up my act. I stopped drinking.
You must stay hydrated.
Oh, well, of course I drink water. I stopped cutting the water with the beer.
Cutting the water with the beer. Okay.
That was how it worked on ships, is the water wasn't potable, so you cut it with beer to disinfect it.
Pilfer, I am very proud of you. That is hard to do.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It came at the hands of some very kind and loving words from my friends.
Is there anything we can do to assist?
No. Right now I think things are going quite well. It's just, however I can help around camp, let me know.
Alvin was looking for new look. He feels his fashion is not great. Could you help Alvin?
Of course.
You are a very stylish man.
I appreciate that. I'll go find him and be of assistance.
Yeah, it's not too hard to find Alvin because there's always kind of like a trail of broken and knocked over things that you can always follow to eventually make it to him. And so you notice that he is by the dishwashing station where Giles is once again working ever so dutifully to try and make sure that everything is clean and trying even harder today to keep everything organized while Alvin is there just like, I want to help too, grabs a plate, accidentally snaps it in half. Oops, let me try that again. And yeah, you look at Alvin with all of his mismatched hodgepodge pieces that are forming his body, like every single individual component of his body, obviously from a different minifig. And then, of course, just that single tall 1x1 brick that is his head with just a bit of Sharpie for the face.
I would like to go to the communal clothing chest that, of course, every campsite has.
Who knows where it came from?
I'm going to dig through it and start popping out and swapping pieces out. And I'd like to dress Alvin in blue jean bottoms, a top that has a brown vest with a deep V-neck white t-shirt, and then a beret on top.
Wow. He's a beatnik.
We have a theme.
A beret on top of his 1x1 piece.
I didn't want to grab any of the new heads. I figure he's fine with this one.
Yeah, we all know that the personality is stored in the head. But yeah, you show him a mirror and he goes, wow, I look like I'm ready to drop some sick rhymes at the next campfire ceremony.
Indeed, I think you could write a play as good as Shakespeare. You dress like him.
Oh, you really think so? I'm going to get started on that right now. And he just takes the plate in his hand, throws it over his shoulder. Giles, actually, I'm going to roll to see if Giles manages to catch it. He does. He just barely manages to catch it.
Nice.
Oh, what an expert little guy. Yeah, and Alvin goes off towards the side of the ever-burning campfire, pulls out a notebook, and starts scribbling some stuff down.
Right after Giles catches the plate just barely, I'd like to grab him and snatch him away so he drops it. I go, Giles, I need you to get me some alcohol as quickly as possible.
Of course, Pilfer. Absolutely. Anything that you request.
Don't let anyone else in camp know.
Of course. My lips are sealed. And he does the zipper motion, but as his claw moves past, you can see that an actual zipper appears on his mouth, and he goes sprinting off in the direction of the trading post.
Okay, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Now, while this has been going on, that has been just enough time for me to find the crafting rules. So, now that you have this Tinkerer ability, crafting is done through long-term projects. So these projects can be used to craft or invent new items, or also to develop rituals or spells, or to modify existing equipment. The length of the clock will be based on the following factors with a minimum length of 4. We add 2 to the clock if there's no blueprint, guide, or design that exists. We add +2 if the item, ritual, or modification is complex. +2 if the item, ritual, or modification is dangerous to produce. +2 if it requires illegal or restricted resources. And then -2 if the ingredients or resources needed are easily accessible, and -2 for each drawback you allow the keeper to add to your invention. Then we will work together to determine what the creation is and what it does, and also its quality, any tags it might have, and how powerful it is. So it's a pretty free-form, pretty loose-flowing sort of system we've got here for what exactly your item does. But yeah, for your boat drone, whatever that you got here.
The drote.
A drote. There we go. Perfect. Gold star.
I want it to basically be an extra guy that only can carry gear. So basically 4 extra gear slots that the party can access.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
That sounds so reasonable.
All right. I like that. So each item, ritual, or spell will have 2-3 tags that describe it. Often, one of these tags will be a benefit and the other a drawback. The drawback that first comes to mind would be conspicuous, unless you want to give it a benefit that would negate that potentially.
No, I've been around too many drones in my life. They are so loud.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how high up they go. You are always like, someone's flying a drone around here. I can hear it.
Can we name it the Flying Dutchman? I know we're not to the name yet, but can we name it the Flying Dutchman?
I think that's perfect.
Oh, it's beautiful.
All right, so we've got the Flying Dutchman. It will have the tags for gear and conspicuous.
With my cut loose ability, do I build that, or do I need to start a long-term project now?
So when you gain the Tinkerer ability, you add one invention to your gear. So you automatically have the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Nice.
And you said in the future, for long-term project stuff he makes, he can get a -2 for every drawback he lets you put on it.
That is correct.
So if he wanted to make some impossibly powerful machine, but then let you riddle it with drawbacks, he could have it for free.
A minimum of 4 clock, I think is what it said.
That is true. Minimum of 4. So we have to keep it somewhat reasonable.
Okay. You could just make the most unstable, rickety, shaking machine, but then it's also like an Earth destroyer.
Or a Star Destroyer if we want to go with Lego-ified properties.
Hey.
That's no moon. The drawback is there's one exhaust port that can absolutely explode the whole thing.
I didn't realize that the Empire was using the crafting rules from Bump in the Dark.
Yeah. I do appreciate you all letting me use the 2 bond to do that.
I'm okay with you using the bond, but I like that you didn't ask and then said, I appreciate you using it.
I appreciate you letting me use it by not stopping me when I used it.
You're welcome, buddy.
Sometimes it is better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Aye.
Ugh, Master Brickithon's so wise. I'm going to stay up late one night, though, and spend 2 hope to clear my luck completely by seeking solace in the stars.
Yes, your sauce is stargazing and astronomy.
So
You're clearing it completely?
clearing it completely. So I am going to seek solace, but I'm going to stray away from the campsite one night. And this might actually be while Master Brickithon is gone during that time. So while he's gone, I'm going to stray away from the campsite and I'm going to go back to the hill where that tree was, where Master Brickithon's old book was kept inside of it.
My old thinking place.
The old thinking place. And I'm going to set up my little telescope and look at the stars. And as I do, I am going to suffer my snag, which is cause trouble. I'm going to get in over my head and give you a string.
All right.
So I'm very engrossed in looking into my telescope.
Oh my gosh, I was so stressed that you were going to just wander off in the woods and get lost for like weeks.
And I'm playing a new character!
Surprise, second hunt, new character.
I was looking through the potential options, and the way you built it up, you're like, I'm going to wander off into the woods. And I was like, Christian, you can't immediately lose your character.
All right, I am going to spend that string right now.
Oh, immediately!
Or should I hold on to it for you know what? I'll hold on to it. I know what I want to do, but I think it fits better with the long-term arc of the story if I hold off on it just a little bit longer. But I'll just say for now, like Oleg, you're looking through your telescope up into the vast emptiness of space, and for like half a moment, you could swear that somebody's watching you.
And I look up from my telescope at the moon and I see if any aliens are currently building the moon or if it's already been built for the night.
I'm going to roll to see. That's no moon.
Must be aliens watching me tonight. And then I'm just going to scream up into the sky, I watch you too, aliens! And then go back looking into my telescope.
All right. So that is all of Oleg's actions, all of Pilfer's actions. Master Brickithon, you've still got enough hope left for one more beat, I reckon. You got anything else you want to do?
I mean, I'm very concerned about what happened with Master Bricktholomew. I kind of want to do something about that.
Here's one thing I'll say. You have not sought solace yet, and you have 7 luck marked.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let me do that. I'm going to seek solace. I'm going to spend some time with my books and my research and my instruction manual. We've got a new haven here. We have a library. And flavor-wise, at least, can I make that some pointed research starting to head in the right direction to figure out what sort of device could be posted around Master Bricktholomew's office?
Indeed. I think we can potentially start a long-term project clock for you if you want to research into it more.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to work on that long-term project yet until you have more hope to spend on it, but we can at least establish that it's there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And while you are here in your haven, now that you've had some time to kind of like fix it up a little bit, what are some of the key features of this haven now that you're more settled into it?
Obviously, there's going to be a workbench where we did that tinkering. So there's a workbench over there, and all scattered around, there are various shelves on the walls, sort of those old archive-like shelves where the little drawers slide out, and those are kind of all over the wall behind it. And there are bits of instructions and pieces and extra parts and things like that. Just it's whoever left it before. It's just a huge smattering of all sorts of things with very little organization. And Master Brickithon kind of likes it that way. I don't think I'm going to mess with it too much yet. There is a very luxurious lazy boy in the corner.
Gotta have a lazy boy.
Big old leather recliner. Smells like old man. Master Brickithon spends a lot of time there reading.
All right.
There are a few odds and ends in there. There's a rock tumbler, some shiny rocks all around it.
Nice.
The collection will probably grow. And there's a bookshelf where Master Brickithon has gone through the library and taken some of his favorite books, the ones that he accesses the most, and put them into that little haven. There might be a mini fridge.
Oh, yeah.
There better be.
Now we're talking.
A mini fridge and a lazy boy, we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
All right, so you spend some time researching, engaging in your solace. So would you like to roll 3d6 and remove that highest roll, that many luck, or would you like to remove all of it and take a snag?
I will remove all of it and take a snag.
All right.
We're so willing to take these snacks.
One more thing about the Haven that I forgot. I really want to be able to clear a condition, to bring an injured hunter there and clear a condition for them. So there's also a good first aid kit and some good supplies for dealing with things like that.
Very nice. Okay, so in order to clear all of your luck, which you had 7 luck marked, so this will allow you to clear all of it, even though you wouldn't have been able to roll that high otherwise. So, which snag would you like to go with?
I'm going to cause trouble. And I'm going to say Master Brickithon goes to the trading post and buys a little disposable camera. And I go back to the admin building, and I am there attempting to take a picture of the device on the door of Master Bricktholomew so that I can bring it back and have our tinkerer reverse engineer it and figure out what the heck it is.
Yeah, I think you do manage to snap a couple photos, but as you're like turning away to leave, very surreptitiously slipping the camera into your pocket so no one will see, you turn and you see one of the commissioners standing right behind you. Big, tall, very physically built, you might say. You find yourself facing Hadley, the commissioner, and he stares down at you and doesn't really say anything, but just kind of narrows his eyes.
Hadley, good to see you again.
He nods, again with his eyes still narrowed, and you hear a voice from inside the admin office shouting out, "Where's Hadley?" And he looks at the door, looks back at you, looks back at the door, and then slowly opens it, walks through, and like the entire time not taking his eyes off of you until the final moment, like even as he's closing the door, he's making sure that his eye is still visible through the crack until the very last moment when the door is shut.
I've been made. Abort mission.
And I say to myself, and I'll run out.
All right, so that is another string on Master Brickithon. Okay, got those all noted. And with that, I mean, we've technically still got 2 more bond for the troop, if anybody wants to spend that, or are we good for this downtime?
Save it.
Yeah, save the bond.
Be frugal.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it against the group's wishes again.
Got to save up to remodel that hideout, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, with that, we are through one entire cycle now of Bump in the Dark, and we're going to pick up with the beginning of our next hunt next time.
All right.
There we go. We're already starting to seed some of the info about the dark conspiracy that's going on. What is happening with Master Bricktholomew?
I have no idea, but I don't like it.
Yep, and Barad-dûr is there, and apparently the Death Star is also there now as well. So yeah, weird stuff happening around good old Camp Studston. But that all is stuff that we will have to dig more into in later episodes. But for now, thanks everybody for listening to Improv Tabletop. We'll be back next time with more adventures in the world of the Tension Builders. If you want more, go ahead and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as a young camper watching VHS tapes in the lodge if you go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media that doesn't get used or monitored at all. So if you want to get in touch with us, send us an email at improvtabletop@gmail.com and I will get back to you. Now it's time to shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons.
Yeah.
And the people we're shouting out this week are Sarah Martin, Tetraslash, and the Packard Boys.
Nice.
These 3 are part of the intervention that was taking place against Pilfer in the trading post.
I was waiting for it.
Watching out for a friend, making sure that he is not giving himself over to vice and corruption, and he's doing so well and is not lying to you behind the scenes at all.
And turns out pirates, not good people. Who'd have thought?
Well, we will have more Sticker Club patrons to shout out next week, and if you, dear listener, want to join their ranks, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get things like Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more, such as our current ongoing patron-exclusive campaign, Serpent Sea Sagas.
Oh, yeah.
We have a new fan-favorite NPC that just showed up over there, who I just realized has the same voice as Alvin.
You're just one man.
I'm just one man. I only have so many voices. But that's one particular voice that I now get to use in multiple campaigns at once. But if you want to go and meet that delightful NPC that we have just made the acquaintance of, go over and check out what we're doing over on our Patreon. Now, let's do a round of plugs. Christian, would you like to take that this time around?
Absolutely. We have our sister podcast, I Cast Fireball, D&D 5e actual play. They are a blast. If you have not listened, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Always fun. Not always funny, but usually funny. Sometimes they are serious.
Sometimes we have some very emotional turmoil that goes on for episodes and episodes, but finally gets paid off with some sweet, sweet catharsis and connection between the characters.
Exactly. It can't all be one note. You got to have that wonderful levels, and they hit them. Cannot recommend it highly enough. You can also check out Fan Roll Dice. We have a partnership with them. If you use the code VroomVroomFifi, still the same code all the way from Avatar Legends, you can get 10% off your order. And then, okay, this is a plug for me. Follow me on Instagram. I post pictures of bugs.
This is true.
Wait, this feels like a really big turn from last week because we were feuding with Connor, but all your bug posts are for Connor.
Yes,
this is true.
Connor, member of the show, I will tag him in every post and ask him what kind of bug it is, and he will tell me, and it is great.
It's Mr. Bug Identifier guy.
He knows so many things about bugs, and I will warn you. Occasionally, I will post a picture of a frog. And also, some of the bugs are spiders, if that scares you. McKenna does not like when I post the spiders. But that is my plug. Find a cool bug, take a picture of it, and send it to me.
And Connor will identify it for
And
you.
Connor will send it to me, and Connor will tell you what it is.
Man, I don't think I can remember the last time I heard somebody say, follow me on Instagram.
I know. I haven't used it regularly until recently, but
bugs.
there's just so many great bugs.
It's true.
And you, dear listener, can get in on all of that sweet bug action if you follow at Christian J. Randall. Is that what it is?
I actually don't know.
Follow me on Instagram. I won't tell you how to find me, but follow me anyway.
That's part of the challenge, my friends.
Gotta find
See
him.
if you can find me.
Between this recording and release, you may want to send a link to Ned to put in the episode description.
No, that's the challenge. They can figure it out.
Our listeners are very tech savvy.
If you truly care about bugs, you'll find him.
If you want to see the bugs, you'll find a way.
And the bugs will find a way to you as well. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us here in the world of The Tension Builders. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by...
Caleb Anderton, the one of the holy memory.
Christian Randall, making ships.
And Evan Peterson, don't drink, kids.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
Oh my gosh, the Squidward Lego is horrifying.
Yeah, that could use an update.
Well, there's two. There's one with a special molded head to look a lot like Squidward, but then there's one with a more traditional Lego head, and Squidward is like smiling, which just first off feels
Wrong.
abnormal for Squidward in general.
Okay, hey, yeah. That updated one, that's much better.
His smile looks like the Joker.
It does.
The Joker is also Legoified by this point.